Hey everybody, it's Pete Lang here, the designer CPA, and today I want to talk to you about the second stimulus payment. And hopefully you've received it either in the form of a direct deposit or in a paper check in the mail. And some people might have opened it and was kind of a little surprised at it being a little lower than what they expected, especially given the first payment. You might have gotten the whole thing the first time. So I had a lot of people call me and ask me why that might be, and I thought, geez, I don't know. And then it occurred to me that if we go back and we look at the history of this, that first stimulus payment, that was done right in the middle of April. So when they were making decisions, the Treasury Department was looking at the 2018 tax return unless you had filed the 2019 return. Now this year you had until July 15th to file that 2019 return. So let's say you hadn't filed the 2019 return and you made less money in 2018. They would have looked at 2018, given you the full amount. Now, fast forward to today, it's January 2021, 2019 returns have been filed. If you made more money, then you have a situation where you might have gotten a limited check because of that. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take an example. This is directly from the IRS website. They are looking at the eligibility of this. And let's just pull up here on the screen a calculator. Okay, so 150,000 threshold for married filing joint, 75,000 for single file status. After that, they're going to reduce the payment by 5% of how much your adjusted gross income exceeds these thresholds. Okay, so here's what you do. You go to your 2019 return, you find the line that says adjusted gross income, and then you determine what that is. So for example, let's do a family of four, married filing joint, 600 a person, with an AGI of 175,000. We're going to subtract the 150,000 threshold, so we're over by 25,000. If you multiply that by 5%, you're going to get 1,250. That's how much they're going to reduce the payment. So you were supposed to get 2,400. They're going to reduce it by 1,250, and so your payment is somewhere around 1,150. And that is really how the best way you can do it quickly, just to ensure that Treasury has kind of made the correct calculation on that. All right, so now let's talk about if you are saying, well, that's all well and good, Pete, that's great, except for the fact that I didn't get the first stimulus, I didn't get the second stimulus, where the heck is it and how do I figure it out? So in that situation, you might have had a higher income in 18 or 19 or both than you have in 2020, or you had in 2020. All right, so let's say you had a situation where you lost your job, or unfortunately in 2020 your income was lower than previous years due to the pandemic, and you would be eligible under these thresholds, but the IRS keeps looking back at the older returns to determine it. Well, if you are in the situation where your 2020 income is lower, the good news is that you do get the payment. You deserve the payment, you're going to get the payment. The bad news is that you're going to have to wait till you finalize and file your 2020 tax return. So if we look at this, there's something called the recovery rebate credit. And so if you get your return prepared by somebody else, you're going to want to talk to them about that. You're going to want to tell them that you didn't either receive the first one, the second one, or both, and then they are going to be able to adjust your 2020 tax return, and this is going to be what the recovery rebate is going to give you the stimulus payments and a bigger refund than you normally would have gotten. So the good news is that you absolutely deserve it. You're going to get it. You just have to wait to file your 2020 return. All right, so in closing, I do want to give you some advice. This isn't specific tax advice, of course. You need to talk to your tax preparer or whoever does your tax return to see if it's right for you. But today's January 13, 2021. President-elect Biden, at the time of this recording, is talking about a third stimulus payment to make up for the 2,000 payment, the 600 to 2,000 gap. So this could happen soon, like they said, or this could get dragged on for a little while. But it sounds like there's multi-party support in this, and it's going to be done relatively quickly. Now, if you're the type of person who has a situation where they file their 2020 tax return right away, and your 2020 income might be higher than in 2019, you may want to wait and not file the 2020 return, because then Treasury might look at the 2020 numbers versus 2019, and if you're in this bracket threshold, they're going to limit that payment due to the new numbers. So, am I telling you to hold off and not file the 2020 return? I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you to talk to your tax preparer about it and see if it makes sense for your unique situation. And of course, if you know anybody who's asking these questions and wondering where their stimulus payment is, please consider sharing it with them, this video, and hopefully they can do the calculation as well and kind of figure out what happened to them. And if you like our content and you want to continue to get updates on either future stimulus payments or changes to the tax law now that we're going to have a new administration, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and of course ring the bell if you want right away up-to-date notifications. So hopefully you all have a great day, and we'll see you soon.